Hey there, welcome back. Today we are going to talk about OS module in Python. Now, OS module help us interact with operating system. OS stands for operating system. So we can do things like check where our script is running from using the OS module, navigate folders, maybe create or delete files or folders, rename things. So all of these, wherever interaction with the operating system is required, we can do that programmatically in Python using the OS module. So let's find out where we are right now, as in which folder this notebook is in. So we'll first import the OS module, and this has the function get CWD, current working directory. And this will give me where this notebook is running from. Let's try moving to another folder. Just like in Windows, you would open the File Explorer and double click on a folder to navigate to that folder. How you can do that? How can you can change folder using OS module? So you will say os.chdr. Chdr stands for change directory. And then you would give the path of the new folder. So let's say this is the path. We'll just put a R before it so that it reads the backslash properly. So now if you check the current working directory using cwd command, get cwd command, it has been changed. Chdr stands for change directory. Now let's see what's inside the current directory. So for that, we have a function called as list directory. So this will give us all the content that's present inside this folder. Directory folder, same thing. So there is only one file called test.txt, but it will give you list of all the files and the folders in the current directory. The output is list data type, as you can all see here. Now, let's say we want to create a new folder. So we can simply say os.mkdir, which stands for make directory. Let's say inside this random, I want to create another folder. Let's call that folder new. So now if we do os.list dir, let's see whether the folder has been created or not. So yeah, there is a folder called new, which has just been created. Now let's clean up a bit and remove the folders that we just created. So only if the folder is empty, then you can use rmdir. Rm stands for remove the folder, directory or folder. And then you can specify the folder that you want to delete. So I can just say new. My folder name is new. I don't have to give the complete path. Why? Because my current working directory is this. And I can give relative path also. So new folder is in this particular directory and I'm already here. I'm running this from here. So I can just give new here. That would suffice because I'm giving relative path. Now if I do os.listdir, you will see that this particular folder has been deleted. But one thing to note here is that rmdir only works if folder is empty. So there is no function in OS module which can directly delete a non-empty folder. So either you first empty out your folder, delete all the files in the folder, and then use rmdir, or there are other Python libraries and packages which can take care of this. Also, let's say you want to make a folder inside a folder. So you want to create a new folder, and inside that you want to create another folder, and then another folder inside of that. So either you can call this osmkdir 3 times, or you can basically give the paths as well. So there is a function make dirs directories. And here you can specify the folder and the subfolder within it so that everything gets created in one shot. So let's say this is a parent folder. We want to create a child folder inside of this. And then inside of this, I want to create another folder. Let's call it subchild. Name of the folder could be anything. Where this folder would be created. So this is again, we are giving the relative path. So my current working directory is this random. So inside random, a folder called parent would be created. Inside parent, there would be a folder called child. Inside child, a subfolder subchild would be created. Let's go ahead and run it. Now, if you do os.listdir, you can see that we have parent. If you want to navigate and see what's inside the parent, you would see that we have a child folder. Inside child, we have subchild folder. Let's say we want to rename this parent to something else. So for that, we can say os.rename. What inputs this take? So this will basically take two inputs, the source and the destination, the old name and the new name. So which folder we want to rename? The parent folder, let's say. And let's rename it to parent new. Now, if we run this, you can see that this folder has been renamed. If you want to check if something exists or not, you can easily do that using this function path os.path.exists. So before you go ahead and try to delete a folder, let's say, you want to first check whether the folder exists or not, because if you try to delete a folder which does not exist, you would get an error. So it's always a good idea to first check whether that folder exists or not before you do any operation on that folder. So yeah, it does exist. This parent underscore new is there. If I check for parent or some other folder, XYZ, you can see it's returning a false because that XYZ folder is not there. Also, let's say you're not sure whether this is a folder or a file. So for that, you have a function. Let's just add some more cells here. So you have a function called as isFile. Again, in the path module, you have a function called as isFile, and you can give it any value here. So let's say test.txt. This is a file. What about parent underscore new? False. It is not a file. Similarly, if you want to check if something is directory or folder or not, you have is directory, dir. So this is a directory. So that's why it's returning us the Boolean value true. Now, a better way to give the path. So right now we have been giving paths like this, right? We wanted to create new folder inside the random. So we gave the entire path. So, but this is not an ideal approach. Instead of writing the full file path separated by slashes like we have done here, we can use another function in OS module, which is join. If you want to navigate to this child folder, instead of giving the entire path, you can just do it like this. You can give each folder name here separated by comma. Now let's save it in a variable, my underscore path. And if we now go ahead and print my underscore path, this is what we are getting. So this will automatically generate the path for us. But the idea of using this is that this will work on all operating systems. So this is the best practice. So use this whenever you are working with paths in Python. You can also access system environment variables using OS module. So let's say you want to get the username. So you can say, or user profile, you can say os dot environ, and then you can pass the info that you want to extract, the user profile, and it will return the path. And there you have it, the basics of the OS module. There are other functions also, very useful functions in OS module. So explore them. Now you know how you can interact with your system using Python. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.